We've got just 1 week left on MFL in season number 8. And it's been a fantastic, fantastic season. We need to do a quick recap before next week we come back. Potentially we have cup finals, potentially we have title deciders, because we have massively impressed over the last week. And we'll get straight into it here, where first of all, if you guys do want to get involved in MFL, make sure you're using the code in the description down below, or code 348655. Now this season, we'll start off with progression, because it has been very good, actually. I think there was a point this season where I thought it was rubbish. More that I look into it, more that I think about it, we're very lucky. Mateus Russo has tier broken this season as a 29-year-old centre-back, gone up +4. Andrade is currently in tier jail at 64 rated, but a plus fee for him. Tim Bryn might be my new Victorio Andrade, as he's got up +3 this season, 3 in shooting, 2 in passing, 4 in dribbling, 3 in defending, and could be a really good player for us. He's not really been a starter this year either, so we're going to have to figure something out for him next year where he plays a lot more games. Carrasco is a player which is born this season through our club. He started as a 49, is now up to a 52, and this guy is not a starter. He is going to be a starter next season, but my God, is he going well. Tier breaker for Italo Lopez from 62 last season. This guy was a pack pull. 63, got top assist last year, got into tier jail and has broken it. Now he's only got 60 pace, so that needs to improve, but defensively he is elite. We then move on to Ramon Pinheiro, another one that is tier broken this season and continues to go up. He is turning into a much more well-rounded player, which is great. If he could play DM, he would be an elite DM because of his pace, defense and physical, but sadly he's a centre mid and he can't dribble. So his rating's not very good, but he plays very well in the match engine. Another one who was born through us at 51, which is now tier broken. Marcus Torres out on loan's done well. Uman's done well. Adam has gone into tier jail. Berthelot was someone which I was potentially going to sell, but has ended up impressing me quite a lot. Got up +1 this season. Good in shooting, passing. Seems to get a lot of red cards, which is weird, but has done well. Anthony Fidelis is a brand new player this season, up +1 at just 20 years of age. We love to see that. Any other young players that have gone up as well? I mean, you can see the amount of progression we've actually had. It is a lot. There's not many players which haven't gone up in any stats whatsoever. Will Kemp, myself, here being one of them. Sadly, a player we brought for $23. He's had his progression, I think. I think we're moving on from him next season because there is someone who has tier broken this season. I'm going to have to try and find him somewhere. Mr. Where is he? Centre attack midfielder is what we're looking for. We might as well just do that. Mr. Charles Loseu. There he is. Tier broken this season. Not gone up anything since, but now a great uncommon. 22 years of age. I think surrounded by better players, he will be an absolute superstar for us. So lots of progression, which is lovely. We'll start off at the bottom with Matsuyama Tamashi. Sadly, this team is going to do nothing this season. We have 5 points. It was always going to be hard this year, and the last 5 games we have got started closer with some teams and then battered 7-1 by some teams. We did manage to do a deal with Davies in the off-season as well, in the midway point. I sold him a 30-year-old 73 rated centre midfielder for... Number 1 was Ferran Pacheco, who is a 19-year-old Spanish cam, who I really like the look of, so I was happy to take the risk on him. And then a player which I believe is in New York Ardent, who we will very quickly touch on. He is a left back. Where is he? Or a left mid even. There he is. 62 rated Stojan Dejonovic. I traded them two for Kubilos. And I'm very happy to take that risk. I like the progression side of MFL. And I've been speaking to MFL actually today in real life, speaking to Aviv and Matt, the creators and sort of media people this year. And they're really, really positive conversations. And I sort of expressed my, not concerns, but my joys with MFL and trying to make that more integrated into the game. And they were really good with that. So yeah, hopefully we see more in-depth things with MFL coming in the future. Now, New York Ardent, sadly, were not going to be a cup team this year, but could be a team which get promoted. 35 points. 1 point away from top of the league. We played them last night in a 1-1 draw. We also managed to lose to MC Toulon, who have got 2 wins all season. Oh, rotation is an absolute killer. Sadly, that was an absolute killer for us. We would be top of the league right now, but not going to be. But we are going for a title, and next week when we come back, what is it now? The 24th right now. As we come back on the 1st of October, which I believe is exactly 1 week away, we could be in for a title chance with New York Ardent. Now, Cusco Espirito we'll quickly touch on as well, as these guys are doing really well, actually. Started the season as one of the worst teams in the league. We made a couple of big signings, older players coming into the team just to help progress some of the youngsters, and that's really worked. 18 points for us now, which is great, on a really good winning streak. Only one loss against Deportivo Iguala, and also into the semi-finals of the Aspirants Cup as well, which already is 650 MFL, which is a free player, which is brilliant. And we are facing under 45 MFL farm. And if I'm not mistaken, I think our team is better than his. He's got a couple of players similar to me, which are quite good. In fact, a few more than I have, but his drop-off is really big. And I think we can give this guy a good game. So we could go into our first cup final with Cusco Espiritu. That would be fantastic. That is going to be a game that plays tomorrow. Hopefully we can do well in that one. Like I said, progression for this team, from what I remember, have been quite good. +3 for Carrasco, 2 for Pinheiro, 2 for Uman, 1 for Carvajal at 31, 1 for Kosech, 1 for Liete, 1 for First, 1 for Gasparini, 1 for Norton, 1 for Brett Martinez, and 1 for Coimbra. Not many players haven't progressed at all. Hauff and Butner, both disappointing. Butner is in tier jail. Barroso as well, I was expecting more from, and Bates I was expecting more from. So keep an eye on them ones, but they could drop down to Matsuyama Tamashi next season. And then we've, of course, got Shizuka Raycon as well. And we're starting to put together a bit of either title challenge or playoff challenge. And I don't know what to do with this team whatsoever, to be honest. I have just sold Matthew Martin to some geezer in the marketplace for 30, which is great. He hasn't progressed for me at all since I brought him, so ended up getting rid of him. Actually, I think I packed him, but yeah, sold him, which is good. And yeah, basically, he's going to stay with us for this season, but I've done big plans for next season. He's not in them. This season, progression-wise for Shizuka, hasn't been great. Not a lot of stars going up whatsoever, but the league performance has been really good. Good news, we've seen a +1 from Bazin already, our pack pull from last episode, which is great in terms of his defending attributes. And yeah, I'm confident that we could potentially go on a good run here. We've got a massive game tonight against Radomiak, got a massive game tomorrow night against Sycamore, and then we can rest against Zaragoza. Hopefully, we are on 38 points after them 3 games. That'll be tough, but if we do that, we could have a genuine chance here towards the end of the season. One of our only big games is against Coventry Fenhuao. We've got Common Farms Cancun on the last day of the season, which have got 8 points so far. We could be on for a title challenge with Shizuka Raycon, which would be simply and utterly incredible. Tactically this season, I've gone with 4 different tactics for all 4 different teams. It's been a bit confusing to do, but it's actually really worked. I've enjoyed this season having an 18-man squad with these, so that's my plan for pretty much every squad next season as well. The front 4 for us has been really good. The team instructions are really basic, and so are the player instructions. For New York Ardent, we've actually been in a 4-1-2-1-2 wide, which is a bit different from the norm, but with Andrade and Shepatuzzi up front, Los U, Estevez, Verbroven, Piccolo, Taki, Kobo, Lingard, Lopez, and Holst. Really strong, well-rounded side for us. So a system like this really suits us. Again, really basic, but doing absolute bits. Cusco Espirito, also really good in terms of system-wise. We're playing a 4-3-3. Martinez obviously is a 48, going up to a 55. Butner is a 44, going up to a 56. And new defensive midfielder Rodriguez holds down a defensive midfield role for us. This team, though, impressed me loads. And then finally, Matsuyama Tamashi. I tried to do something a bit different with this team. It's not quite worked out. Oh, yeah, we've moved actually, haven't we? We were in a 3-5-2. We've moved into a 4-1-2-1-2 because of Pacheco. And also Cabral coming down to us, who looks really good and progressing quite a lot at 19 years of age. He's got up +1 in his first season and wasn't playing at all at Cusco. Brought him into Matsuyama so we can start playing, and he is flying, which is good. So a bunch of different systems. 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, 4-3-3 defensive midfielder, 4-1-2-1-2 wide, and 4-2-3-1. We're having a really good season, keeping things basic, not doing too much, and being really hard to break down, to be honest. Now, there is some things to talk about on MFL. Majority, the sort of lack in the market at the moment. The prices are crazy low on clubs. You can buy a Spark team right now for $48, which is mental. I mean, even an English club here in Gloucester and Ice for $55. Prices are kind of on the floor, and it'll be interesting to see what MFL do to change that. I mean, looking into sort of players coming onto the market, someone like Mateo Vucelic, no way was he $24 not too long ago. I mean, yeah, I mean, look at this. Looking back to the 4th of September, 15. I mean, he must have flown up progression-wise. I don't know how he got him for that cheap. I mean, $15 for a player like this is wild. I wonder if because this was the same day, what's happened here. But, I mean, just player prices in general are really low compared to what they used to be. A striker like this for $90 is crazy cheap. Henrik Frendrick, 150 and 185. 150 was just a month ago. And this guy's struggling to sell him now for 90, which is crazy. So always be careful on games like this. I mean, I myself, haven't really invested too much. I don't know anyone that has invested crazy amounts. But basically with games like this, I think the best way to play them is to have fun. I mean, someone like Nixon Frere, I probably will cash in on like this summer. He's not shown any progression just yet. He's 20 years of age. His value's really high. And for me, the best thing to do is cash in on him and invest in $1 players. If you don't make anything from a $1 player, guess what? You can sell him for $1. And that's how I found I've had the most fun on this game by far. You can see my agency is pretty much full of uncommons, a little bunch of limiteds, a little bunch of uncommons, and a couple of rares at the top, which are both going to get sold. And yeah, this is how I've had the most fun. So if you guys are worried about the MFL marketplace, I would personally just try and keep things as minimal as possible, as low risk as possible, and have as much fun as possible. Remember, this is a game to have fun on. And that is where I would kind of like to leave this video. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to smash the like button and subscribing. Next week's video could be absolutely mental. We could be in a cup final. We could be going for a couple of titles. You never know. It could be a big one. So make sure you're subscribing, and I'll speak to you next time.